So, today we once again going to go through some Reddit things. The first one is actually a very interesting one. I haven't read the whole one, but I think that it is already starting very, very, very nicely. It is a nice story, nicely written, and yeah, let's see. Today I was in a car crash. As I slowed my car right behind the one stopped in front of me. Another car hit me from behind, resulting in me hitting the one in front. My car is brand new, my already aching back hit with a massive blow. I stepped out of the car, immediately checked on the guys in front of me, asking them if they were hurt. Thankfully, no one was. They were just about to start cursing, but my question and my composure, I think, startled them, and they simply followed my guidance in trying to contain the situation. I informed them to call the authorities while I go to check on the driver behind me. Still in her car, she was in a state of shock, crying. I asked her if she's hurt, and when I verified that she wasn't, calmed her down as best as I could. These things happen, no one is hurt. C'est la vie. Which is French, I guess, and I don't know what it means. Finally, I gathered everyone to the side of the road for safety. The authorities came and we filled out the paperwork. Everyone was by this point relatively calm, and I felt a sense of respect from all parties. An unfortunate situation all around, yet I think an experience which all the affected parties learn from and which put my stoic virtues to the test. I dare say I am proud of myself. Misfortune, nobly born, is good fortune, which is a quote by Marcus Aurelius. Edit, thank you all for your kind words. I'm glad we all found some inspiration in the situation. Let's actually see what people are saying. Well done. Your composure and concern in dealing with the first group is a great illustration of how containing our own bad reactions can provoke a shift in the reactions of others. Well, I do think that setting an example or be an example for other people is incredibly important and necessary. If you think about it, and this is as well something that Marcus Aurelius said, if I remember correctly, in Meditations. I'm gonna paraphrase that because I don't know the exact lines, but we should always be the person that we are seeking, in the world. So if you're seeking for somebody that is very nice, that is a leader that is, that is getting things done, but still in a way that's humane, not like terrorizing people so that the company is running better and whatnot. When this is something that you're searching for, then being such a person is a really good idea. First of all, because then, okay, you have this person that you're searching for and that you have been searching for. And on the other hand, as this person pointed out, it is probably going to set an example for other people, which is, if you're a parent, then this is like extremely important because you're always going to be an idol. You're always going to be, you're always going to paint the picture. You're always going to paint the picture for your children. And it's the same with being, well, indeed, somebody that is leading something, whether it is a team, whether it is a company, whether it is something else, maybe also a family, if you think about it in that way. Some people just do truly have to think about the way they act because they illustrate things and they show things and they are, I kind of lost the word that I've been searching for. Well, anyway, you know what I mean. Tomorrow is my first day of therapy ever, which is amazing and I appreciate that. Buddhist economics. How to start prioritizing people or products and creativity or consumption. Work and leisure are complementary parts of the same living process and cannot be separated without destroying the joy of work and the bliss of leisure. Which is something that I've seen in my life as well. And, well, actually, unfortunately, I tend to really do a lot. I tend to really work a lot. I tend to really try to milk every single fucking second of my fucking day. I really try to do so because I like getting things done and I always feel guilty, to be honest, when I just don't do that. when I'm seemingly wasting time, when I'm seemingly wasting the energy, when I'm seemingly wasting things. I don't like that. Well, actually, I also don't like wasting food, by the way, which, is a funny thought that I'm just now getting. Anyway, for example, today I haven't had to work quite. I had night shift, so I did work in the night practically, but I have a feeling that I could do so much today because I'm having so much time. It is insane. Which is, it is not that late. It's 1 p.m. or something. And I've, already worked out. I've designed the posts and I've done quite some things. But I feel like that I could have done more already. And I do hope that I'm going to do quite a lot this day because I do want to use the day. But I'm most often using it for just doing something, making something. And often I feel like I'm just trying to keep myself busy. So that I maybe don't have to think about things, so that I maybe just don't have to rest quite, even though it is something so vital. And I'm actually doing this. I'm practicing this, and I'm having this life up to the point where I just need to rest. And this is not a really great point to be at. And I've been at this point the last weekend, which is a tremendously fucked up bullshit. And I've actually been very fortunate that this whole work week wasn't too demanding. I've had 3 night shifts, which, it's not amazing. It really is not. It really can fuck with you, and I haven't slept too much today. I think 4 hours or something. But yeah, really fortunate that the week wasn't too demanding. And I've also been able to, work out and all of these things. It's actually been quite amazing. Well, let's see. Image, this blew my mind. Happiness is not about getting what you like. Happiness has a lot to do with liking what you get. Guru Gopal Das. There's plenty of different versions of that. And I think it is the truth. We all should strive for something. We all should be having goals, really big goals, to be honest. I really believe in that. I really think that it is something that's quite necessary, to also have something to look forward to, which I'm as well pretty grateful for because I'm having something to look forward to as well at this point in time. But, which by the way is something that Viktor Frankl, as far as I can remember at least, figured out, that if you're having something to look forward to, things are getting better, no matter how much suffering you have to go through and how much you actually suffer. Even though I do also think that it heavily depends on the value that you're giving to certain things. We create value, we give certain objects value, okay, this is the necklace of my grandma. It is really worth quite a lot. It is value that you're giving to it. It's not the value of this necklace, unless it is a diamond necklace that's just objectively worth quite a lot. But we tend to give a lot of meaning to things, whether it is situations or people or objects or whatever it might be, we just do so. And by having something to look forward to, we are creating something that is of value. We're creating something that is important to us. And you basically just can take everything or anything. Okay, I'm gonna have the best meal just in the very end of the day, so that I'm having something to look forward to, because my food and whatnot is something that I value. Could be an example. Or you could treat yourself like, okay, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give myself a cookie or whatever sweets you like, or whatever savory and not necessarily healthy thing you like. We create value. It is something that I've realized, and it's something that's quite insane, because when you're able to use this tool and use this, which by the way I'm not able to at this point in time, to use this mechanism, then you can really have a happy life all day fucking long and all life long, because you're able to create value. Okay, I'm valuing this certain moment. I'm giving tremendous value to what I'm experiencing right now, whether it is something good or something bad. And voila, you're having a pretty good life, because you've shifted things. You shifted your perspective maybe, And you've just given value. You've attributed value to certain things. Anyway, today I learned that the famous line from the chorus of Britney Spears' first single, Hit Me, Baby One More Time, was written by a Swedish producer who didn't speak perfect English. By hit me, he really meant hit me up. Well, and this is a good example. Well, I mean, in general, there's some lyrics in songs that just don't make any fucking sense. Even though hit me, baby, one more time, I mean, yeah, you can take it literal, but yeah, anyway. I quit my main habit just because I don't want to write about it in my journal. It's something that isn't harmful, but it's just kind of gross and makes up like 99% of my inside jokes. I keep a journal where I try to be honest with myself, and I realized future me isn't going to want to read about that, so I guess I have to quit it and any mention of it. Well, I'm not quite sure of the mention of it, like thinking about it, which kind of, is a part of being honest with yourself. But if it is something that you just don't want to hear in the future and you know that, then it is a tremendous strategy. It really is a tremendously good strategy to get rid of bad habits. I feel like I'm losing the meaning of life in quarantine with my parents. Yeah, it is something I guess that we all have seen. I've been very fortunate in these periods to really be honest, to be able to work and do something and get distracted, so to speak. But once again, creating value and creating something to look forward to. For example, when I've been in quarantine and I had to learn for my A levels, I also really worked out quite a lot. It's, on one hand, which is something that I'm, at this point in time also doing, it's just quote unquote wasting time. It is using time for something that I believe is worthwhile doing, so I'm just, moving a lot. I'm just trying to have a good diet. I'm trying to look differently, which is like a goal, it is something to look forward to. Okay, how am I going to look tomorrow? What am I going to feel like tomorrow? And so on and so forth. Yeah. And the last one is going to be, today I learned that to clean out the sewer pipes that tended to block the mayor of the city of Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, instituted a synchronized flush. Residents who did not comply were fined. That's actually pretty cool, a synchronized flush. Even though, could also be kind of scary, a toilet. Well, I thought about it being just automatic, like just programmed quite. But, it's, might be too technical. But so I guess that people would have to just flush the toilet at a specific time, which, very interesting. Today I learned Soviet scientists accidentally turned lead into gold during their tests with an experimental nuclear reactor. So making gold out of shit apparently is possible. This is gonna be the last one. Just got broken up with a girl who I thought was the one, and it didn't affect me as bad as I thought it would. I got broken up with I got broken up with her probably a few hours ago, and I wasn't affected that bad. Well, I cried and I was feeling down, but I understand this isn't the end. There was nothing I could have done to change it. She just lost feelings. I'm going to move on and continue to live my life. I was a fine person before her, and I'm going to be a fine person after her. This sub helped me a lot and prepared me for when things like this happen in life. And yeah, to really be honest, things really seem to be quite fine and well in the first place and whatnot, which is something that I've experienced. But over time, one starts to think, then there's going to be some periods of more thinking, there's going to be some periods of less thinking, and so on and so forth. I don't want to be negative here. I just want to be pointing out my experience. And yeah, you have been fine before. You've had a life, you've had a great life, you've just had a certain structure in life which wasn't including this particular person. And afterwards, you can also do that. Just exclude that person and do things that you've done before. For me, for example, it was, now I'm just doing way more sports. I'm working out way longer. I'm just doing the shit that I like. I'm just, creating the day that I like also on the weekends, or especially the weekends. I don't know, like there's beauty in everything. Quite. Of course, there's not going to be so much cuddling, there's not going to be so much whatever. But that's fine. I mean, you're exchanging things in the end. You've exchanged more time for yourself and more time for the things that you care about and think are cool to do. Possibly also friends, which is also a big factor for me. You've exchanged it with just not having a girlfriend. I mean, there's always a way to think about things in a positive light. Well, at least most often. There are for sure some scenarios, some things that cannot be put into a positive light. But anyway, I'm going to see you the next time. I hope you have been able to get something out of this episode, and I'm willing to see you the next time. So I'll see you soon.